Hey, what's up everyone? It's Jamie, your old buddy from Sharon at Sea. Hey, today a lot of reports are coming out of Puerto Rico regarding Royal Caribbean canceling multiple cruises that are either calling on Puerto Rico as a port of call or embarking from Puerto Rico in 2020 and 2021. As of right now, Royal Caribbean's denying those rumors. I thought I'd come on here and see if we could figure out what exactly is going on in Puerto Rico with these Royal Caribbean cruises right after this. Hey, real quick, if you haven't done it already, we'd love for you to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell so you're always aware of new cruise content coming out from the cruise crew here at Sharon at Sea. Hey, so like I said, today we started hearing about some reports and rumors coming out of Puerto Rico about Royal Caribbean canceling a bunch of cruises. We thought this is pretty important information because it definitely affects a lot of people in our cruise community that have trips lined up that involve Puerto Rico. Now, Puerto Rico is one of the most popular cruise destinations in the Caribbean. But if you paid any attention to cruise news over the last few months, you've probably heard about some of the struggles they've had. I mean, even going back to 2017, Hurricane Maria devastated the island. They're still trying to recover from that. Not too long ago, they were having protests in the streets of Old Town San Juan due to some political issues regarding the local government. Puerto Rico's kind of had a bad reputation for being a pretty poorly run territory of the United States. They've had hints of government corruption. They have a very poor infrastructure set up on the island. And it's well known that Puerto Rico has had its share of financial issues as well. Now, Puerto Rico is an island that we've been to a number of times and we've had great experiences there. So it's always disappointing to hear something negative coming out of Puerto Rico between them and the cruise lines. Now, the stories of these cancellations seem to all revolve around the cruise port of San Juan. The cruise port consists of 5 piers. Piers number 1 through 4 are usually the piers that most folks are familiar with. They kind of overlook or they're adjacent to Old Town San Juan. And if you spend a day in San Juan, Puerto Rico on a cruise, that's probably where your cruise ship pulled up to. There is another pier that is just across the inlet that's also part of the cruise port of San Juan called the American Pier. Now, this is a pier where many cruise ships begin their cruises. If your cruise is sailing from San Juan and you're embarking from San Juan, that's usually the pier you're going to be at. And that is the pier that Royal Caribbean embarks all of its cruises from in San Juan, as well as many other cruise lines. One exception is Carnival Cruise Lines. They are able to use pier number 4 for when their ships call on San Juan as a port of call or when their ships embark or debark from San Juan. Now, overall, the port area and the docks in San Juan are in need of repair. And I'm not just talking slight repair. We're talking multi-million dollars. And that multi-million dollars is needed to complete repairs, increase the size of the port so they can accommodate more ships, and build up some of the areas and modernize some of the areas there in the cruise port of San Juan. Now, the Puerto Rico Port Authority does not have the financial backing to complete these repairs on their own. They just don't have the money to do it. So they've made the decision to try to privatize the repairs that need to be done by going out and working with or hiring an outside company that would be willing to invest the money needed to do all the repairs in the port area. Now, of course, any company that invests the money into the port area will also realize the concessions and the profit from those repairs and that refurbishment as well. One of the areas that looks like it needs the most work is actually the American Pier. It doesn't have much facilities over there. It's a small building. Most of the time, folks waiting for their cruise are waiting outside and only small groups of people can come into the building to get ready to board. It's a very commercial looking spot, and unlike the piers that are adjacent to Old Town San Juan, the American Pier is very commercial looking and really very unattractive. And I think the American Pier might be playing a big part in these alleged cancellations by Royal Caribbean. The cruise lines like to be the ones to invest in the ports of call, in the dock areas. They like to be the one to call the shots, and they like to be the ones to realize the profits as well from those investments. And although there have been rumors about the cruise lines and the Puerto Rican government getting together to discuss not privatizing the work that needs to be done, and so far there have not been any agreements made, and it is expected that by the end of 2019 it'll be announced who has been chosen to do all the work, who will be investing in the port and the dock area, and like I said, who will be realizing the profits from that investment as well. Now, I said earlier that all these stories we're hearing are originating from Puerto Rico. News agencies, news outlets, Telemundo, things like that in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rican Governor Wanda Vasquez has come out and made a statement that Royal Caribbean has chosen and has alerted them that they will be canceling numerous cruises that will be calling on Puerto Rico. I mean, dozens of cruises that'll just be visiting for the day, up to 90, and up to 30 cruises that will originate from the port in Puerto Rico as well are rumored to be canceled. And of course, it looks like all these cancellations are stemming from Puerto Rico's decision to privatize the work to be done. Now, at this time, none of these cancellations has been verified by Royal Caribbean. Sharon even took a few minutes to make some phone calls and inquired with Royal Caribbean about itineraries that included Puerto Rico, and at this time everything that she was told is that they are still booking cruises that involve Puerto Rico, and they know nothing about any changes that are happening. There was a little bit of talk of maybe Royal Caribbean teaming up with Carnival to make some changes with their visits to Puerto Rico, but it looks like John Heald, ambassador of Carnival Cruise Lines, did come out and make a statement saying that at this time Carnival has no plans to and has made no changes to any of their itineraries that involve Puerto Rico. You know, and that kind of makes sense. I mentioned earlier that Carnival has full use of Pier number 4 in Puerto Rico, but Pier number 4 is the one pier that has been modernized by Carnival. They have exclusive use of that pier, and again, they are able to have cruises embark and disembark from that location, as well as just pull in there for daily visits to Puerto Rico. Now, on the other hand, the American Pier is the one that appears to need most of the work to be done. And of course, Royal Caribbean does use Pier number 3 that's connected to Old Town San Juan. But that is just that. It's just a pier. It's a smaller area. It's uncovered. It's got no facilities. It has not been modernized. It is just a small, thin spot where people can get off the ship and walk into town. So it looks like we might just have an old-fashioned power struggle on our hand between Royal Caribbean and the local government there, the government of Puerto Rico, regarding the cruise port of San Juan. It sure looks like Royal Caribbean wants the opportunity to be the one to invest in the cruise port. The government of Puerto Rico is sticking to its guns, saying that they just want what's best for the area and for their people. And if privatizing this and allowing another company to invest is going to give them the best results, then that's a decision that they're willing to make. Now, it's yet to be seen whether or not the two major cruise lines, Royal Caribbean and Carnival, will team up. But one thing's for sure, Royal Caribbean definitely likes to do things their own way. They proved that by creating the amazing private island destination of the Perfect Day at Coco Cay. They're definitely reaping the benefits of that island. And if any cruise line out there was going to call their own shots and maybe make a decision to not call on Puerto Rico any longer, I could definitely see Royal Caribbean being that cruise line. So as of right now, all the reports coming out of Puerto Rico are that Royal Caribbean is canceling dozens upon dozens of cruises that are either visiting or embarking from Puerto Rico. Meanwhile, Royal Caribbean hasn't really said anything about it. Like I said, a phone call to Royal to inquire led us to believe that they are still currently booking cruises that have Puerto Rico as part of their itinerary. Now, I'm sure more information will be coming out on this story. Heck, by the time you watch this video, there might even be more information out. We'll try to keep our ear to the grindstone here at Sharon@Sea. If any new information comes out that we feel like it will affect our cruising community, we will definitely share that with you. Meanwhile, if you currently have a cruise booked that involves Puerto Rico either as your embarkation port or as a port of call you're going to visit, make sure you keep an ear out. Feel free to contact your travel professional or just check with Royal Caribbean's website for any changes to their itineraries. I know that if any of you out there use Sharon@Sea Travel, Sharon will be monitoring the situation and will share any information that she gets as soon as she can. So for now, just sit tight. I wouldn't worry too much. I have a feeling things might work out in the long run. Royal Caribbean realizes that major changes like this would be a tremendous inconvenience for its passengers and the people that use their cruise line, and they would not want to piss off that many people. And I have a feeling in the end, everything might just work itself out, as it always seems to do when these kind of issues arrive. So that's the scoop, guys. That's what we know about the situation going on in Puerto Rico. As of right now, nothing has been confirmed. We'll let you know if we hear anything. Thank you so much for stopping in to watch the video. We really appreciate it. On your way out, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you're aware of all new content coming out by hitting the notification bell as well. Check us out on Facebook at the Sharon at Sea Cruise Crew. And as usual, for myself, Sharon and Matthew, and everyone here at Team Sharon at Sea, thanks for watching and happy cruising.